So he's been at it again. Kris Boyd has been at it again. He's been moaning about everything Celtic. He's adamant that he'll never accept Rangers finish second, even though they've finished second quite a lot over the last 20 odd years of Celtic domination within the Scottish League. Well, let's listen to him on Sky Sports earlier today.
I mean, I think that the performances had to improve because they were so bad up until you go back to even the Dundee United game when we spoke about it. The first 45 minutes wasn't good enough. Yes, Rangers managed to find an equaliser, draw the game in the second half. But you then look at the performance in Nice was very good. Then they had 3 domestic games that you'd expect Rangers to win. You draw against Tottenham, where I felt as if Rangers should have won, but the performance was very good.
So wait a minute, we just spoke about a draw from Dundee United. We spoke about a draw against Tottenham. They won the Moral Victory Cup against Celtic. Jesus, they like their draws and they like celebrating draws, don't they?
Good. And then at the weekend, you look at it and you go against a Celtic team that, there's no doubt has been excellent in Scotland for a period of time and in Europe. And Rangers found a way to nullify them with a lot of things, score 3 goals, but obviously conceded 3 goals. But the reality is, left with nothing.
Yep.
And that would be the big disappointment. I think having done so well and played so well, left Hampden with no trophy.
But you did, and I'm sure Tavi. Do you know what? They've been going on about this penalty, and it's like it's going to be called Penaltygate soon. And if only that they cared so much back in 2012. If only if they put so much effort in back in 2012. Rather than let that old club slip away into liquidation and die off altogether.
Celtic find a way to get over the line. Albeit you spoke there about the VAR decision. Listen, it was a fantastic game end to end. But I just, for me looking at that, it was so wrong that it has a massive bearing in the game because you look...
Right, Connor Goldson, two-handed save. Nothing said, no inquest into it, no media outcry. That's just to name but a few over the last few years.
Look at it, it's 3 each. You're going into extra time. There is no doubt that it's a penalty kick. Listen, it's people will say it's human error in the VAR.
There's nothing also about the Rangers player that decided to go down in the box during the game, and it was and he should have been booked for simulation. But there's no talk about that either, is there? It all seems to be a little bit. Let's try and get at Liam Scales and that decision. And Liam Scales is just like, do you know what? I'm away to the darts. You away for your dinner.
But there's 2 of them as humans. 2 of them have actually missed this decision. It's a huge decision, and the outcome of it. And people are saying, you've got to send the referee to the VAR machine. You don't need to send them. I mean, you're actually just looking at that saying it's a factual decision. It's in the box. Just point to the penalty spot. That's all that was needed. So, listen, it's a huge error from the VAR and the VAR assistant. But I look at John Beaton's getting a lot of criticism. For me, I don't think it's right.
Yeah, I know, because it's brother beating, isn't it?
He done his best during the game, and I look at the.
Wait a minute, you've just criticised him. You just criticised him for you've been criticising him for days, saying that he got the decision wrong, and then you're saying that it's his VAR assistants that are wrong. So who's in the wrong here?
Has had a big impact on what way the game has played out the weekend. But
well, VAR's not had any impact, Chris, because when you look at it, the referee made the call. And there was the foul was on the outside of the box. What you're now saying is, this is what you're really getting at. What you're getting at is that VAR didn't intervene on your behalf and your club's behalf. That's what you really mean. It's not that they made mistakes. It's the fact that they didn't intervene for you. The referee called it as he saw it, and he saw it as being outside the box. The Rangers player was a couple of feet outside the box, when it started. Liam Scales falls into the box, maybe pulls the Rangers player with him, but it is what it is. The ref called it at the time. And you really mean, and what all your supporters mean, is that VAR didn't help you out the way that it should.
But listen, you never know. I mean, Rangers might have missed a penalty, might have scored at Celtic. It's all ifs and buts, but the reality is...
Exactly.
It was a huge error that had an impact on the game of football.
And what ifs, right? We're going to talk about what ifs. What if Celtic had actually came out and started the first half the way that they started the second half, what if Celtic had played to their full optimum? Celtic played at around about 50% of the way that they can, let's face up. And Rangers played out their skin the first half, completely out their skin, and as small clubs do, as new clubs do when they when they face giants in cup competitions. Yeah, it was only if you'd put in so much effort in 2012 to the conversation that you're having just now, things might have been so different for you.
Yeah, I hear you. Right, next Old Firm game though.
There's the Old Firm
around the corner as well. How are you feeling about that one now?
Oh, this will be interesting.
Well, I think Rangers have got to take credit for the way they have performed against Celtic the weekend. But as I said,
they won nothing.
You're left with nothing. Look, maybe I'm, in terms of growing up a Rangers fan and you were winning all the time.
No, you weren't. And Chris, what age are you? Rangers weren't winning all the time. I mean, you're bound to be nearly 40 now, Chris, surely. I mean, you're your early 30s. And 40 years ago, Rangers were absolutely rubbish. Before the 1990s, right? Before the 1990s, if you look at the 1980s, Rangers weren't that good. You're going to look at the factual evidence when Dundee United were way better. Aberdeen were way better than Rangers, consistently in Europe. Aberdeen and Dundee United were far better than Rangers, and even Celtic, has to be said. And they were even winning leagues. Rangers weren't until David Murray come along and hijacked and financed the club with borrowed money from the bank and never paid any taxes.
You go back and things have changed in Scotland, but I don't think I can change who I am.
Well, a wee bigot.
Rangers for me was brought up in winning trophies, and
no, it was they stopped lying.
That's what it was, and it's not been the case in recent times. In Celtic,
20 years,
I've been doing that. Whether I have to change and accept that second best is enough, then I would never do that. And I think a lot of the Rangers fans are the same. This whole thing of turning it all, we played okay, we done okay. That's all you hear from a lot of fans, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of other fans there saying that no, you need to start winning things.
And go and ask your granda, go and ask your dads that how good Rangers were in the sort of the 80s.
But credit to Celtic. You look at the way that they find a way, because it wasn't their best performance at the weekend.
There you go. Again, we admit it.
Defensively, I thought they were vulnerable, but going forward, Celtic caused Rangers problems again. And both obviously scored 3 goals, but I think for Brendan Rodgers and Celtic, they've managed to get it over the line again, and that is a big thing.
It is a big thing. I'm just waiting on Rangers. I mean, the zombies must have crawled out the ground, and they've went back and they've woke up, and it's 1994. I'm just waiting on them singing "We always look on the bright side of life." But then again, I don't think they will sing that, because they'll have it in their memory somewhere that it's a Celtic song, and what you'll end up. They'll end up singing, "Things can only get better."
There seems to be that winning mentality there. It doesn't matter however well Rangers play. Celtic seem to come out on top. But a full house at Ibrox on January 2nd. Rangers will be hoping for a different outcome. But I still feel as if they're going to have to perform better, because yes, that's where Rangers have been at in terms of we're playing okay, we're doing okay, but you're not winning games.
And there's not going to be 750 Celtic fans either. There's going to be vastly more, a lot more.
You're not winning games against Celtic, and that has to change.
Anyway, that's Kris Boyd. Kris Boyd, who has been having a moan about everything Celtic as per normal. But it was nice to remind Kris of, times gone by where Rangers weren't that good. And if only you had put the effort that the U's have put into this missed penalty decision, if only you'd put that effort into your club back in 2012, rather than selling it for £1. Anyway, on that note, have a fantastic day, an evening and night, Celtic fans all around the world.